But when country performers, like other performers in other music, are approached to do something for somebody that's worthy, they line up and they will do it. And that's how we got all those artists that came together to record with me.
The song one that you have, the collaboration that you have, it's unbelievable the amount of stars that you
Right.
have on one video, and also the what you're doing in Tanzania with the water shortage. I've worked just north of where you were there, and I guess Loibor Salt, where you have your, I get
Yeah,
right. Uh,
yes.
I worked in Arusha, and so I know the area very well. It's just it's
Wow, really? Boy, that thrills me because I can't even pronounce that name as you just pronounced Lobosoy. Yeah, and who in the world, in our world, knows of such a place by that name or any other? But Shirley and I, working with God TV, which is a channel that not enough people know about, though it's international, and they started a crusade called Cape Town to Cairo, and they wanted to build freshwater wells in all the 40 nations of Africa. I didn't even know then there were 40 nations in Africa, but they settled on Tanzania at that point. So Shirley and I, my wife, uh, paid for a well we had to go down 500 feet to finally find fresh water sparkling up out of the ground. And we put a windmill there, solar powered, and it's still operating. And we're women who walk across the desert in those 40 nations with empty buckets on their heads or shoulders, maybe taking a child along, and with another empty bucket. And they get water out of a muddy ditch where cattle come and they drink, and other animals drink and poop. And they take all the debris out of the water, bring it home, and that's what they give their children. And their children have a life expectancy of 5.
Wow.
If they're
I read that and I just dropped my head on that.
Well, that's right, and it is true that it's a miracle if children in those countries live to be older than 5. If they do, then there's a chance they might grow up to be adults. But they're drinking poison, and so our freshwater well there, the government, which is a Muslim government, said, "Look, we know you're Christians, you people with God TV, and we know that you want to convert everybody, but if you bring in a freshwater well, we'll give you, I think they said 100 miles around your well, and you can they put a building there if you want, but don't call it a church." So what we have is the Pat and Shirley Boone Life Center in Tanzania. And it was because we had done that we met with a group that's based in Springfield, Missouri. I hope you've heard of them because they're ministering right now to the 320 million people in sub-Sahara desert. But the entity is called World Serve International. And they've been for several years now, trying to raise the money from various sources, mainly Christian causes and sources, and they're bringing in those freshwater wells in other countries, but they made our well in Tanzania sort of the centerpiece of this video and song that we recorded as a We Are the World type thing. And I'm calling ours We Are the Well.
That's
We are the
wonderful.
well.
And we are now have drilled to or at least raised the money to drill 2 or 3 more wells, and the money's coming in as people hear the song and see the video. And all these country performers, performers justifiably sometimes get bad press from people, sometimes the way they live in country music in particular, which, if you're going to write a surefire hit, make it a beer drinking song or a bar song or, or infidelity song, and you have a better chance. I mean, I got friends in what is it, Garth Brooks in low places.
Right,
Garth,
right.
Yeah.
I got friends in
Garth Brooks. Yeah.
Garth Brooks. And so you have a better chance of having a hit record if you're a country music writer and write about those things. But when country performers, like other performers in other music, are approached to do something for somebody that's worthy, they line up and they will do it. And that's how we got all those artists that came together to record with me. Gosh, I've got their names all listed because I'll forget their names. Lee Greenwood, of course, Larry Gatlin, Pam Tillis, Alabama, uh, Vince Gill, of course, Aaron Goodwin, and others that I hadn't known really by name, Jet Jurgensmeyer, Mark 209, and others. And they come aboard and they sing and they give it their all. And they don't ask for anything in return. They just want to help people. And, I tip my hat, this cap that's advertising our one song. And of course, when we were recording, before we knew this group existed, but they were in Nashville. And it's a group of naturalized citizens from that part of the world, including Tanzania. And they have, let's see, their name, I got their name here is Legacy Mission Village Singers. Now, that we didn't know that group existed till we were in the studio in Reba McEntire's studio recording. And when we heard about them, that they get together periodically, frequently, and sing their songs together, including gospel songs in Swahili. Wow. And that's the incredible sound you hear on the record and even see in the video of these people from that part of the world. And it makes me cry every time I hear them sing. It is an unusual sound. They're singing the lyrics that I wrote, some of the lyrics with Jimmy Bishop and Frank Myers. Frank Nichols. No, Jimmy Nichols, what did I say?
Jimmy Nichols, yes, sir.
Nichols and Frank Myers. They helped me write the song, but I had written most of it by the time we got together, words and music. And I don't play an instrument or read music, but it just came to me. It was given to me, wow. The song by God, I think, that when these singers, they add their voices, they are singing for their own people. They're singing for their own children. They're singing that, hoping that we will help them create fresh water to lengthen the lives of these people in those countries whose governments don't supply it. And so they're just on their own, unless somebody like we do comes to help them. And so now you guys, you may not have intended it, but you're part of it.
No, I think that's wonderful. I've done a lot in Malawi, just south of there as well, just north of Lilongwe, Malawi, or Area 45. Built a school and a sports facility to help get kids in, to kind of get them jobs and stuff. And in Malawi, when you talk about how poor people are, I think people don't realize how poor 91% of people in Malawi don't have electricity. And they don't have running water. You are literally changing people's lives. You're saving people's lives with these wells. It's one of the best possible things that you can do when you have something like this. How hard was it to get all the collaboration together of all these great stars and to get them together for a music video?
It took time. It was difficult because now some people whose names I won't mention, so I won't embarrass them, have asked, why didn't you let us be part of this? Why didn't you let me? I would have done it with you. And I say to them, look, I tried to get you, but your reps, the people I had to go through to get to you, never gave you the message. We couldn't wait forever. So we went ahead and recorded with the ones that we could reach and that happily came aboard. And now we're considering the possibility of a second version of the song with a bunch more performers who have said, hey, we would have sung with you. Why didn't you call us? And I'm saying, I tried. I couldn't get through the wall it takes to get through to you. You're too popular, even though you're right there in Nashville, and you could have driven over and to record with us if we could have gotten through to you. But I am so thrilled with the group that did come aboard, and we're asking them to put the song on their websites and make more and more people aware. That's another way we can make it better known. But man, I am so glad to know that you know the area, and you also know this, that their diet, those people who live, they live like they did 3,000 years ago. Still, there are still huts that people live in that are built of cow dung, bricks of cow dung. Now, when it rains, which it hardly ever does, and those parts, you can imagine what happens to some of those houses. They have to go in and reconstruct. But those people don't know what it is to eat vegetables. So in around the Pat Boone Life Center there, we have the Shirley Boone vegetable garden that started out, but now it's a vegetable farm because we're teaching them how to eat something other than just beans and rice and whatever meat they might get from a lizard or a snake or a rabbit, whatever they can capture. That's the only meat they have. And that's their diet. They don't know about vegetables. So we're trying to educate that whole part of the world to green vegetables and get the minerals and vitamins from those vegetables. And I will say, the people of Israel and the irrigation system they created has come aboard to help us turn dry desert into fresh Israel type land that can grow vegetables and create all the things that we need. The Bible declares, prophesies that in the last days, Israel will become like the Garden of Eden. Well, it is right now. I mean, they're supplying flowers and vegetables to Europe and from greater than any other source. And the other thing we did with our well was create a wood frame school. And I broke ground for it with a shovel, but I had to get a guy with a pickaxe first to break up the soil so I could get the tip of my shovel into it. But we're trying to raise the literacy level. They don't have schools in those vast areas. So how do the kids learn a language other than the language they grew up with? And how can they learn anything, even math or any other subjects, geography, history? They don't have schools in many cases to go to. So there's a eighth grade level school that we put in along with our well. And of course, I hope that'll become sort of the rule as we build the other wells through one. One is for one nation, one God, and one people when we are united and come together. But one person has his own worth in God's eyes. And I could talk forever about it, but I know you guys would allow me to say that we all have a final exam, that Jesus has already given us the questions on our final exam when we stand before him at last. When I was sick, poor, naked, hungry, and in prison, did you visit me? Did you care? Did you hear about me and just ignore it? And now we're trying to make people aware that people need us. And now it's up to us to answer the questions on our own final exam. I want to be able to say to Jesus when he asked me those questions, yes, I did literally visit you. I didn't just care. I've been to many prisons now in my career because I want to say when I knew you were in prison, and you are in many of those people in the prisons, they did wrong things, but they belong to you. They gave their subsequent lives to you. And so, I'm involved. I want to be able to say, yes, I visited you when you were in prison, and those people.
Well, the video is One. That's the name of the song. It's about the Tanzanian, specifically water crisis in East Africa and all throughout Africa, from Cape Town to Cairo, and about how you can change lives, and they are changing lives. These wells change people's lives. They save people's lives. And Mr. Pat Boone, being the director of this video, One, please check it out and support as you can.
Can I just give you you go to onefortanzania.org. That's easy. One that spell out ONEFOR, Tanzania.org, and a red button will pop up when you go there, and it's the giving button. And I'm asking women to take their kids there and let them know that they can give to help other kids like them live to be older than 5 by giving them fresh water to drink, and get the kids involved. One
Right.
for Tanzania.org.
We'll put that up on the screen for you.
We'll
Mr.
put it up. Mr. Boone, thank you so much.
It's Pat, by the way.
Pat,
Thank you.
I'm gonna have a tough time with that, but thank you so
Thank you.
much.
And maybe
Thank
we'll
you.
do it again sometime. Thanks.